We are over the halfway point of the season. We are mid-January, and we are back at the top of the table on goal difference. It's equal between us and Fulham, 57 points, 18 wins, 3 draws, 6 defeats each, but we have a positive 31 goal difference because it is January. Transfer business has happened, and obviously as well, we've played a few games. So this is the business that we've done in January so far. We have sold Stefano Volpe for £6.25 million because he wasn't playing, and we've made our money back. We've also loaned out a few players. Kavic, who we'll come to in a minute, El Idrissi, who we'll come to in a minute, and Dylan Smith, who's rubbish. Nemanja Kavic is a 25-year-old Serbian goalkeeper who didn't get a work permit. I signed a lot of goalkeepers. You'll realise why I've signed lots in a minute. Kavic obviously joining from Red Star, going out on loan to Frankfurt in, I think, Bundesliga 2, despite the fact they've just won the Europa League. They're in the Bundesliga 2. Kavic is there. Hopefully he's going to get some games. Hopefully he's going to come back and get himself a work permit because I think he's pretty good. Nadir Moumen El Idrissi is a 23-year-old Moroccan goalkeeper who didn't get a work permit. He has gone out on loan to Cruz Azul in Mexico. I think El Idrissi is good enough to be our number 1 goalkeeper, but the lack of work permit kind of scuppers that plan. Goalkeeper number 3 to join the squad is Massimo Marinoni. Marinoni, signed from AC Milan. He's played once for AC Milan, he's played once for us, and he's conceded 1 goal for each team. He's come in for relatively cheap. I think he's good, but he's not number 1 good. But he's still good enough. He's basically going to sit on the bench. El Idrissi should be number 1. But yeah, we needed to bring in somebody else instead. We've also signed a 25-year-old Irish right-back from Shamrock Rovers. It is David Radmore, who I don't really know how he came up on my radar, but one of my scouts said, you should probably have a look at him. I went, he's not a bad backup, really. Technically, he's not great going forward for crossing, not ideal for the way we play our wing-backs, but actually, mentally, physically, got some decent numbers. He can also tackle really well, marking's pretty high for an average player in the Championship. David's not bad for what we paid. And one player who is most likely going to be getting some game time is Stefan Osmich, signed from Southampton for not a huge amount of money. I think it's £250,000. It was £250,000. Came through their youth system, a Swedish under-21 international. He's a ball-winner midfielder. That's why I wanted to bring him in. Somebody who could play in the middle of the pitch instead of Paul Searle, because Paul Searle, not the best footballer nowadays. He's still not bad, but he's not the best footballer nowadays. Also, we might look at sticking him on the front post for corners because he's got 16 jumping reach, only 7 heading, but he is 6'4", so it's probably not going to be too much of an issue. The window is still open, so there is plenty of time to basically do some more business. We have a lot of money to spend, but I'm desperately trying not to spend it. I'll probably spend a small amount more, but I don't really want to do that. In between episodes as well, we actually played the 6-1 match against Hull, kind of, in the last episode. We have been up and down, but mainly up, I'd say, losing to Blackburn and losing to AFC Wimbledon, beating Peterborough, beating Palace, beating Bristol City, beating Millwall, drawing with Swansea, and we've managed to earn ourselves a third round replay against Wolves, who are a Premier League side. So, yeah, that's, we'll get money, I guess. Molineux's quite a big stadium, isn't it? Match number 1 of the episode will be up against Norwich. We're going to be at home for this one. It's the 4-2-4, as we know and love. Pedisic will be our goalkeeper. Marioni, I think he played the last game and wasn't very good, so he's dropped back to the bench. Matheson, McGuinness, Charia, and Nozza in defence. Osmich is going to be making his debut alongside McArdle, the 2 former Southampton men. Paulie Searle on the right wing. Why have I done that? I clicked ask the assistant to pick, and I just kind of ignored that one. We'll do this. So we put Ryan on the right wing, Corbeau on the left, Dean Laird, not Paul Searle up front. We must have a better striker on the subs bench we can use. Gonzalez, sure, he scored once. So, sitting pretty at the top of the table on goal difference. It's not ideal. I admit it is not ideal, but we are at the top of the table. Fulham are up against West Brom, who are not very good. We're up against Norwich, who are also not very good. It's Ryan with a goal kick for Norwich. 7 and a bit minutes on the clock. Ryan's not going to get there for us. Hassan Arakan maybe blocks them. Intercepted easily by Theo Corbeau, who's going to go for a little run. Needs an option. Nozza's the option. Doesn't want to pass to him. And now Norwich have themselves the ball down the line towards back. Nozza's with him. Pert Harris loses out. McArdle can steal it. Osmich. Well, what are we going to see from the big Swede? Charia's going to go for a run. Now Mark McGuinness. Captain McGuinness. Osmich again. Lovely beard, I think Osmich has got, which is nice to see. Playing around the defence. Bit of a worry. Lovely through ball, though. Finds Theo Corbeau. Takes a few touches. Tucks it wide. He tucked it wide. That's not what you're supposed to do. That should have gone straight in the bottom corner, 1-0. Maybe we'll get something from the free kick. Ryan to Chariot at the back post. The Canadian controls it. That's in. That's crossed the line. We don't have goal line technology. That crossed the line, didn't it? It certainly looked like it did. I mean, we do apparently have goal line technology. So it shows it clearly didn't cross the line. It's not a goal. Maybe this one will be. Ryan's corner. McGuinness is there. Off the bar from the central defender. Still 0-0. But Norwich are literally doing nothing when it comes to attacking. But we're not really doing much either when it comes to attacking because our chances haven't been very good. Fulham also went 1-0 down and then immediately equalised. Ryan with a corner. Where is it going to go? Left-footed towards the middle. Not the best corner. Baptiste heads clear. Connor Ryan again. McGuinness, edge of the area. Towards McArdle. Lovely shot from Ryan McArdle. And an absolute screamer from the former Southampton man. It's 1-0 to Dover. And we should be 2 points clear at the top. As long as, Fulham don't win their game. Almost into injury time in the first half. Norwich coming forward with the ball. Norrington Davis is with Knauf. Could be his name on the right-hand side. Plays it on the ground to Pert Harris. In towards the goalkeeper, and Amadou Diallo is there, but the flag goes up. It is not going to count. He was offside, apparently, and we're seeing a highlight from the free kick. Okay, please just make it 2-0 straight before half-time. That would be lovely. Ryan with it just inside the Norwich half. Through ball, finds Dean Laird, takes a touch. He does what Theo Corbeau should have done earlier on in the first half. Makes it 2-0. That is a kick in the teeth for Norwich. They feel like they should have scored a goal and it was disallowed, and then immediately from the free kick, we go up the other end to make it 2. Norwich have had 2 shots and neither of them were on target with an XG of 0.06. I feel like, it's still early to say these things, but I feel like we're probably winning this game. And good news as well, West Brom are still holding Fulham to a 1-1 draw. I would love to get a third. Make it 3-0, put this result beyond any shadow of a doubt, and then we'll be good. Bro with a free kick for Norwich. Diallo, who thought he scored the goal earlier on. It's going to be Norrington Davies, Corbeau to McArdle. Plays it back to Chariot, who we're probably going to have to either sign in the summer if we want to keep hold of him, because I don't think West Ham are going to want to loan him out again for a 5th season. He must be out of contract soon. Chariot to Norrington Davies on the left, forward to Corbeau, back to McArdle, forward again to Corbeau. Now Gonzalez plays in TC. He decided he wasn't going to score, so he just lays it off to Dean Laird, who gets his 15th goal of the season, and we are 3-0 up against a very good Norwich side. In my opinion, I think these are a pretty decent Norwich team, and we are just making them look just poor. Right, we probably should do some subs. There's only 20 minutes left. It's at this point where I wish I had some youngsters on the bench. We're going to bring on David Radmore, which I think is going to be his debut technically. Gonzalez for Allen. I don't really want to do that. Nathan Martin. We'll do Nathan Martin. We'll do Connor Ryan up front. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just moving people around. Sure, Martin can play on the right wing. Free kick for Corbeau to take. It's intercepted by Baptiste. And now Norwich possibly with a chance, maybe? Plays it back to Weeks, plays it back to Craig Forrester, plays it back to Baptiste. It's going to go all the way back to the keeper eventually, isn't it? Weeks, nope, he's gone long instead. Mace is going to get there. No, he's not. Noza heads back to Pedicic. And we can start once again. McGuinness and Chariot lumps it upfield. It's a lovely headed effort from Connor Ryan, but straight to a Norwich shirt. We need to get this under control. Nathan Martin, been at the club a very long time, but most of his time has been spent out on loan. Laird doesn't get there. Now Forrester. We've still got plenty of time. Still over 15 minutes to play. Matthews is going to get on the end of that. No support at the moment in the middle. He goes for goal. He doesn't need support. Sam Matthews makes it 3-1. And I think that's their first shot on target. Second, apparently. They've had 5 shots and scored 1 of them. Final 10 minutes. Are we going to see a Dean Laird hat-trick? That's what we want. I have no idea what Fulham are doing. I've not been paying attention at all. Osmich back to McGuinness. Now Chariot. Loads and loads of white shirts in front. McArdle towards TC on the left-hand side. I swear I put Corbeau up front. No, I didn't. I put Ryan up front. That makes more sense. That's fine. I got worried. I thought the formation had just broken itself. It's a huge kick upfield by the goalkeeper, and it's going to be 3-2, isn't it? It's not going to be 3-2 at the moment. Mace, just outside the area, tries to get it in, crosses it towards Matthews at the back. Craig Forrester is there, heads over the bar. Norwich have decided to come alive in the final 10-15 minutes of the game. What is happening? Fulham are still drawing. Fulham are still drawing their game, which means we should be going 2 points clear at the top of the table. Man, Weeks, Craig Forrester, forward towards that man. Now Mace is going to run onto the end of this. They're going to get another goal. They're going to get another goal. Not with shots like that, they won't. That went into space. We're seeing literally every highlight. What's happening? What is going on? McGuinness, you need to get there first, my friend. I mean, Norwich are going to score another goal. I have a feeling Norwich are going to equalise. That's a strange pass. The whip on that, and he's offside. He's offside anyway, it doesn't matter. We've got 4 minutes of injury time. We're going to do a time-wasting sub. Martin and Radmore have both played pretty poorly. Osmich for Paulie Searle. I think we'll just do that one final change. It's more of a time-wasting change. And hopefully the game just peters out into nothing. There we go. 3-1 victory against Norwich. They just woke up. They just woke up towards the end of the match. The last, 15, 20 minutes of the game. They woke up, had loads of chances, scored a goal. But it was only one goal. And I think Fulham drew. Fulham did draw with West Brom, thanks to the former American president, John Kennedy. I mean, fair play to still be playing at his condition. We've gone forward a few more days and we have played our FA Cup third round replay and we got smashed by Wolves, which is completely understandable when you look at their goal scorer who scored a hat-trick. He's ridiculous. He's worth £63 to £94 million. It does mean that we're now going to go forward and play Coventry, who in theory should be getting beaten better than we beat Norwich because they are 23rd place in the table. We're also going to go to the end of the transfer window. We won't see the Forest game on camera, but we'll go to see whether there's any more transfer business. I don't think there will be huge, but there might be something. No transfers to talk about just yet, but we do have a match against Coventry to play. We are going for a somewhat rotated side. It's going to be Pedicic in goal. Radmore will be getting a start as the right back. Uriah returns from an injury to play alongside Charia. And it's going to be Youssef, I can't remember his first name, Matthew Youssef, making his debut, so much so that he's even getting a squad number because he doesn't have one of those. It's going to be Osmich and Barton in the middle of the pitch, Corbono, Kobzev, Allen and Ryan up front. We have fitness concerns. Lots of people shouldn't be playing. Uriah, Allen, Elliot, Gonzalez. If we scroll down, we've also got Paulie Searle and Massimo currently out injured. We kind of need some players to return from injury. You know what? Marinoni can play as well. I will tell you now, we have an interesting transfer in the works. We don't need him. I'll be 100% honest now. We don't need him. He's a striker, but he's ridiculously good. And it's only going to cost us about £4 million. And if we get him, we might need to sell somebody like a Dean Laird, who was our top goal scorer for the season. Radmore with the ball for us after just 9 minutes. TC into the penalty area. He smashed it over the bar again. I mean, sometimes TC should probably look at passing, shouldn't he? Just seen Coventry's formation. They are definitely trying to shut up shop. What are Fulham doing? They're playing Forest, who are down in 7th place, moving up because they're obviously currently drawing the game. We're playing Forest after this one. So I guess we can kind of see if Forest do well against Fulham, we know it's not going to be a particularly easy game. Probably not going to be an easy game anyway. Radmore, the 25-year-old Irishman's going to go for a run down the right. Plays through to TC. Needs some support in the middle. Back to Radmore again. Lumps it forward. Can't get it over the defence. And Osmich is... I mean, you didn't steal it. How did you not steal it? That's a wonderful ball as well. Meredith to this man's name. It's a long name. Charia's pushed him over. Probably a red card for Charia. Although, they don't do double jeopardy. Or they do double jeopardy. You can either get a red card or a penalty. You can't get both. Unless it's a double yellow. Ranking Costello. Marinoni goes the right way but doesn't really dive. We're 1-0 down to the team who are 23rd place in the table. That wasn't in the script, guys. That was not how this was supposed to go. We are still top of the table by 1 point because Forest are holding on at the moment against Fulham. We have got a minute, not even a minute, 30 seconds left of injury time of the first half. Holder loses out. Radmore just smashes it upfield towards Allen, who doesn't really win the header. And now Coventry again can come forward. Holder plays in this man's name. It's a long name. Carroll's got this, takes a couple of touches, and Carroll almost makes it 2-0. Osmich almost made it 2-0 as well. He's cleared the ball. The highlight ends, the half ends. And we have not been very good so far. Flash arms. What was that? Get your act together, guys. No one's playing well. Literally nobody. Charia, who gave away the penalty, is our best player. Something is not right. We shouldn't be looking down the road to see what Forest and Fulham are up to, should we? It's still far too early in the season, but we are doing it, and it is 2-0 to Coventry. It's 2-0 to Coventry. Starting to think I did too much rotation. Did I do... I mean, offensively, we are basically the same team. We're pretty much the same team. It's only in the defence. Youssef's on a 6-2 on his debut. This might be your first and last game for the club, my friend. Fulham have taken the lead as well, which means we drop down to second. Right, I've spent too long. Should have done this ages ago, shouldn't I? We're just going to do the substitutions that we should have done. We are also going to do Kobzev's on a 6-3. Dean Laird on that left-hand side. Yes, we'll do that. Right, we have got about 25 minutes to score 3 goals. I'm going to change from positive to attacking as well. That is probably one of the nails in the coffin, isn't it? Fulham are 2-0 up against Forest, which means that is 3 points going to the Londoners. I mean, we've just ruined this for ourselves, haven't we? Of all the teams, it's a team who are down in 23rd place in the table, and they are making us look stupid. They are making us look absolutely stupid. Marinoni is on a 6.3. Definitely shouldn't have played him, should I? 25 seconds left to play, and if we score now, it's just going to be a consolation. Worcester's getting himself sent off for a second yellow card. It doesn't matter. They're 2-0 up. Is it appropriate to throw a water bottle? I mean, I feel like it probably is when you look at some of our star players, and I mean star players, like your Corbinos, your Lairds, your Allens, players like that, and they're getting 6-4s and 6-3s. That was not good enough. That was absolutely appalling. We had 20 shots, 4 on target. I mean, let's not... I don't want to... No, thrash arms. That was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Shameful, in fact. I do not want to be looking back at that result in a few episodes' time and go, that's where we lost the title. That is a key result that could cost us the league. It could cost us promotion. It could cost us the save. I'm not being overdramatic. Maybe a little bit. Right, Matthew, buddy, you played so well. We're going to try and shift you off before the end of the transfer window. There's plenty of days. It is transfer deadline day, or it's almost transfer deadline day. We've got some things to talk about before we talk about transfers, and that is the fact that Fulham have just lost 2 games in a row. They lost against Crystal Palace, and then they lost against Portsmouth. Yes, we also lost against Nottingham Forest, but still, it means they haven't ran away with it, and we've invited Stoke, Crystal Palace and Blackburn to the promotion party. It's going to be very tight at the top of the table. We need to win these games. These are the games. We should be beating Coventry for a start, and we should be beating teams like Forest if we want to go up promoted. We've done some business. You might have even seen it on the last screen. Connor Ryan has jumped ship and moved over to Crystal Palace, and you might think that is an insane bit of business to do, and then you see that we've spent, or not spent, they've spent £25 million to bring in Connor Ryan, who, he's all right. He scored a reasonable amount of goals, 24 goals in 60 league games for us, but £25 million for a free transfer from Gillingham, of all teams, that's just nuts. And we've already spent some of the money on Emmanuel Santillan, who is an Argentine striker signed from Liverpool, formerly of San Lorenzo as well. He's only cost about £5 million. He's very, very good. He played against Forest and didn't do anything. I think he had 1 shot of a 0.06 XG. We've got another transfer that is hopefully going to come through in just a moment. So it is transfer deadline day, and here we go. Our Connor Ryan replacement is Mohammed Ihataran, a real man, 29 years of age, soon to be 30 years of age. He's out of contract in the summer. Unfortunately, we can't offer him a deal, so we have to pay actual money for him. He's not cost a huge amount, but he's very, very good, right? He's going to be very good. He can play on either wing as well, which is perfect. The scout says a D recommendation, so that'll be interesting to see what comes back from that. A regular starter in his prime years, that's fine. C+ from the fans. I mean, I feel like it should be more than a C+. It's Mohammed Ihataran. I think that is basically my business done, unless something else happens. So, this is going to be our squad for the rest of the season. We need to find a loan deal for Kirk Knight and Lawrence Humphrey. I think both of those two are slightly too old, although I want Humphrey in the squad. Humphrey's not terrible. He's certainly better than Matthew Youssef. Right, we'll do that. There we go. A regional scout has just told me about Munir Kamis, who is a 19-year-old Syrian, and I just want to sign him because he's from Syria. He's going to cost £4,000. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? And somehow he's got a work permit. How has he got a work permit? He's 19 years old. He's 19 years old with no caps. How has he got a work permit? Well, okay, fair enough. Here he is. I guess, do we loan him out? What do we do? What do we do with our 19-year-old Syrian? Off to Bromley. Do you want to play for Bromley? On the verge of first team? Lovely. He does want to go to Bromley. Fair enough. Off you go. Have a lovely time there. This is getting interesting. Ryan McArdle has a £4.1 million release clause. We need to try and give you a new deal to get rid of that. £33,000 a week is it's a little bit too steep for my liking. Well, looks like Ryan's off, and I think we might try and get Robbie Finnegan as his replacement. No idea how much he's going to cost. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot of money. It's going to smash our record transfer because it's going to be £12.25 million, but I think he's good, you know. The irony is we were going to offer basically McArdle around the same contract. I'm terrible at contracts. I don't know if you've realised this. So, on the same day that McArdle leaves for Crystal Palace, Robbie Finnegan comes in and smashes our record transfer. Did we get a better deal? I feel like we need to know this. Did we get a better player? Arguably, yes. Technically, McArdle was better, but most things, Robbie Finnegan's a better footballer. I'm happy with that bit of business. Wasn't cheap, but I'm happy. Well, that was a lot busier than I thought it was going to be. Our January, we spent a lot of money. We brought in £35.5 million. We spent nearly £20 million. And we have moved ourselves up to 13th place in wage expenditure. We were like 20th at the start of the season. I'm starting to throw money around because we kind of need to get into the Premier League. Palace spent £127 million. They're in the Championship. How? Did they sell big-name players? They sold Sesko, that makes sense. They sold Simic. They sold basically their two strikers. They would understandably mean that they would need to replace them. But 170 million. That's huge, huge numbers. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. It was probably quite a long episode because of the transfer window. Next episode, I don't know what we're going to do, but we've already dropped down to third place in the table because we've got a game in hand. We have to beat Sheffield United. If we don't beat Sheffield United, we are in for a difficult second half of the season. We are going to play Fulham. We're going to do Fulham and probably Middlesbrough, aren't we? Yeah, join me for the next one, where we are hopefully going to be top of the table and beat Fulham. Thanks for watching.